In this example, I'm going to model how to use the box method for division. We're going to divide 3,235 divided by 4. So first thing is taking our dividend and placing it on the inside of the box. So as you can see here, I've placed it inside of the box. Next, we take our divisor and place it on the outside of the box. And then we set up our multiplication chart. So you can see I have my multiplication chart for my multiplication tables of 4. Do this again. Okay, there's our multiplication tables of 4. So numbers on the top that are green are going to be part of my quotient. So that's why I have it color coordinated for green. Next, on the bottom are going to be my answers for my multiplication facts, and that's going to be on the bottom so that I can then subtract them. Okay. So we need to set up our question. Our question that we're going to be using for this division is going to be how many 4s will make without going over. Okay, so this is the question that we're trying to answer in our division. How many 4s will make a 3 without going over? How many 4s will make a 3 without going over? Okay. As we look at our multiplication chart, we can see 4 times 0 is 0, and 4 times 1 is too much because I already went over. So I can only use 4 times 0. 4 times 0 is the only option that I'm able to use. 4 times 0 equals 0. So I'm going to place my 0 at the bottom. My next step is to subtract. Once I subtract, 3 minus 0 is still 3. Then I bring that 3 over so that I can regroup it. Okay, so there's my 3. Okay, now how many, so I am at this point repeating my steps. Step number 1, which is the division. How many 4s will make 32 without going over? How many 4s will make 32 without going over? I have 0 too small, 4 too small, 8 too small, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and there is 32 exactly. So how many 4s are going to make 32 without going over? Exactly 8. Okay. So I would place my 8 up here. 4 times 8, that's my multiplication step. Next is 4 times 8 equals 32. Place my 32 on the bottom. Next step is to subtract. Okay. So I then subtract 32 minus 32. That equals 0. And technically, I'm supposed to bring that 0 over. Okay. Now, how I'm done bringing it over, and now I have to repeat this all over again. How many 4s will make 3 or without going over? Well, 0 is the only option here because the 4 is already bigger than the 3. So 4 times 0 is 0, and 3 minus 0 is 3. Okay. Then I have to bring that 3 over. And now I ask the question again. Repeat the process. How many 4s will make 35 without going over? So I have 32, and then 36 is actually too big because I go over. So my answer would be 4 times 9 equals too much. So I have to go down to 4 times 8. 4 times 8 equals 32. Then I subtract 35 minus 32. Leaves me with a 3 remainder. I take that remainder, I bring it over. Okay. So that leaves my remainder as a 3. Now, why didn't I continue to repeat? Well, I have nothing left over to bring to continue to divide, and my remainder is smaller than my divisor. Okay. So now my answer here is 808 with a remainder of 3. To check my work, I would have to do the inverse operation. The inverse operation of division is multiplication. So I'm going to take 808, multiply it times 4, then add my 3, and that's going to equal what I started out with, which is 3,235. Let's test that. I have 808 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32, carrying my 3. 4 times 0 is 0, plus the 3 equals 3. 4 times 8 equals 32. Okay. Then I have to add my remainder of 3. And that's going to be 3 plus 2 equals 5, 3 plus nothing, 2 plus nothing, 3 plus nothing. 3,235. 3,235. As you can see, it is the same number that I started out with. That's 3,235. And that is how you divide using the box method and check your work using the standard algorithm of multiplication or the inverse operation. Thank you.